Rocking the big, what is that, a Quest Trade hat today?
Questor.
Quest Trade.
Quest Trade.
Because if you're not investing, you're a dumb piece of shit.
That's right.
That's right.
Yep.
What an ad campaign that Quest Trade seems to be going right now with. I'm sure you've seen it on television. It's like the black and white commercial of you know
black guy and a white guy, or it's a black and white like color of the picture?
It's a black and white commercial. So
is it one of a black and white guy where they're talking to each other and one guy's like, "Wow, this is a really nice place," and he's like, "Thanks, my dad helped me out with investing," and he's like, "Oh, I haven't started investing yet." He's like, "Oh, you haven't?" And then it's like a shame. It's like, get your money in Wealthsimple or Questor.
Yeah, one thing.
Quest Trade, whatever.
I really want to buy a product that makes me feel, or a service that just makes me feel like shit for not using it. Makes me feel like the stupidest motherfucker on the planet for not using it. See, I mean, that's got to be ad 101. You want people to start using your shit? Great. Start demeaning them and demoralizing them for not using it.
I think our ideas for advertising need to go into those pregnancy test things. Okay. Where the ad just shows negative, and then it's just a guy and a girl who are like their 20s, and they just start fist pumping like, fuck yes.
Yeah, commercials for pregnancy tests are always, or like, you know, it's never interpreted with like a fuck yeah, we're not pregnant. Yeah. It's always like, thank God we are. Yeah, let's go the other way. I would love to see fade in to like two 15-year-olds. Yeah. In one of their parents' house, mom and dad went out to work for the day.
And then better yet, I'm gonna add on to this ad. They go into the drugstore and go in each other's shoulders, and they wear the long rain jacket, and they're like, "One pregnancy test, please, for myself, an adult."
And then the pharmacist says, there's no age restriction on purchasing one of these.
I'm well aware. I've bought many in the past because I am an adult.
And then you do. And then I would love the clip of, the 15-year-old boy just vaping on the stairs, nervous that he's going to get the positive test back. And then seeing that minus sign, and just celebrating. Why don't we see that?
Yeah, and then it just goes into like Crazy Frog or something. I don't know.
Let's kick it.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 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 two C's just like two C's in a pod, two C's because we're two C's in a pod, two C's just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod at gmail.com.
Welcome to Two C's in a Pod, everyone. My name is Cam LeClaire, your co-host, followed by your other co-host, Cam Osborne, where we catch up on a weekly basis to bring you the news stories, the headlines, the games, the latest trends in what kids are saying, talking about pregnancy commercials. We tell you about facts, and this is straight logic and facts.
Thank you very much for that enthusiastic introduction, Cam. Yeah, that's right.
I've had a long day. Did you watch the fights last night?
Why would I ever watch fights, Cam?
Because it was the heavyweight championship of the world last night. I thought you'd be tuned in.
I know. I did actually see about that this morning, but no. I think just kind of, and I think listeners of the show have come to expect, some real hard-hitting UFC talk.
Journalism,
of course. There's actually, Cam, I know you've been wanting to add this new segment recently, which is kind of like a Joe Rogan experience kind of segment that sort of follows what they talk about on Rogan. We kind of chunk out a little bit of our show to just kind of recap what Demi Lovato had to say.
So the Joe Rogan experience?
It'd be something like that, maybe just kind of taking a little chunk out of, the specific shows. You've been wanting to do this for a little while now.
Yeah, I've been pitching it to you. I've been pitching it to the head office, and no movement so far. So
no, it's the CEOs, the CFOs. They don't feel the they really don't feel the need on recapping another podcast. Our podcast.
I don't want. No. I don't want to do that. That's stupid.
Okay.
There's a podcast called the Joe Rogan Experience, which I want to recap.
What? Okay. What does that show do?
It recaps the Joe Rogan Experience.
You're kidding me.
No.
This is an actual show that somebody could go listen to right now.
Yeah, Google it on Spotify. Well, Spotify.
Google it on Spotify, kids. That's exactly right. Wow. So you want to recap the recap?
Yeah, I think there's something there.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's, it's just kind of like shortening the format. I mean, these people don't have attention spans anyways. Nobody wants to sit through a 3.5-hour Rogan podcast, so they'll sit through the 1.5 Joe Rogan experience. And then if you don't even have an 1.5 to go, we'll give you 20 minutes of whatever the fuck they're talking about.
And then we'll do weekly summary episodes of that, just like our Knight Rider episodes, but just 5 minutes. Oh my God, what a segment that would be. The recap of the recap of the recap in 5 minutes.
That's too many recaps.
You never know.
There's too many recaps.
That's a matter of opinion, in my opinion.
A matter of opinion, in my opinion. Cam, you're just full of them today.
Hey, we got, let's let the viewers know what we got today, because it's a big one.
Okay, why don't you,
what number are we at, 69?
It's episode 63 of Two Season Pod.
Okay.
Of course.
Close. We're almost to the fun number.
I mean, in every single week we do, we do kind of hype up that episode 100 and approximately 37 weeks.
I was going to say 69 is our favorite number.
Okay, and what's going to be so special about that show? Do you want to do something creepy and gross?
It's the fun number.
So how are you going to celebrate it? You can't just say it's a fun number and then be like, yeah, I mean, we passed 13 fucking months ago. We skipped over my favorite number. We didn't have
what's your favorite
fanfare.
Number? 13?
We're going 13 or 5 if that's not available.
Yeah, 5's a good number. 5's a good defenseman number in my opinion.
I think, well, the hockey league I played in had no number 13s.
Just because of bad luck?
I have no idea. I mean, it was house league hockey. It was probably rules was fucking sent down from somebody, but there was no number 13. So I was 5 for hockey, and I was always 14 in football. But 13 was the number of Dan Marino, and he was my dude when I was a kid. So it was my favorite number, but I never got to wear it playing sports.
That's unfortunate.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. I was a goalie for a lot of times. It was either 1 or 31. Because the jerseys, you just didn't have the fit, right?
1 was always the biggest jersey because they made them size to number ratio. Of course, the larger jerseys with the larger numbers or the smaller numbers.
No, because it'd be 31 or 1 or 30.
Oh, okay. I think all the goalies we had, I don't think everyone had a 31. They were all just number 1.
Maybe it was just the 1, yeah.
I don't know. The Aaron hockey community, we know it is a heavily invested kind of operation there. Millions of dollars
right now.
Millions of dollars get put into the Aaron Hockey Association.
Apparently right now there's a big controversy because now there's 2 different leagues operating in Aaron because of a bunch of political clout. I don't know. Someone was telling me about the other day. It sounds very confusing and very.
And what's the divide between the 2 leagues?
Just
whites
just
only,
because
and then.
Yeah, you got it. That's the main division.
Sounds about right.
No, the main problem was that it just been going on for so long that people were frustrated with just all the little things you get in minor hockey, this coach, he's picking this person because it's this person's cousin, but he shouldn't get that pick because last year he got blank, and he's stacking his team and he's gonna just pick his assistant coach so he can get his son on the team. This isn't fair.
Oh, okay.
Right. Shit
all the
like
politics.
shit like that of minor
hockey. I mean, Cam, I still think the Aaron hockey is doing better than my hometown because our mascot is still called the Redmen.
I thought that was Orangeville.
Nope. There's no logo. Thank God. It was just a giant R. It's just a giant red R. So, I mean, if you saw it, you could, it's not much better. But, they came after, they came after the football team from the Edmonton football team. They came after the Washington football team. They came after
now the Edmonton football team?
The Cleveland baseball team.
Did they change their names yet?
Yeah, back, I want to say...
Edmonton Eskimos did not, did they?
Yeah, like early last year. Like, I don't think there was a CFL season, right? There was no CFL season, but I think they had changed it prior to the season started. Like shortly after the Washington football team made their...
So now it's just the Edmonton football team?
I believe so, yeah. Check them on Twitter. It's probably how it's set up.
And then who's the third one? The Cleveland Indians? That's gone?
That's gone now.
What's that now?
No, unnamed. Unnamed into the future.
It's just Cleveland team?
It's probably just, baseball team from Cleveland. I don't know.
A group of 19 players who show up on a field and God damn it, do they know how to play baseball? I mean,
that's really all it is. That's really all it is. That's all baseball kind of is, right? It's a bunch of Nicaraguans playing AAA ball, throwing some junk over home plate. That's baseball, right?
That's baseball for you.
That sounds like baseball to me. Cam, let's move into the show, shall we?
Hey, let's do it. All right, so this week, folks, we got maybe, if we can fit it in.
Didn't we already do this part?
If we can fit it in.
We already did this part.
No,
are we going back to the way we used to on the show when we would just throughout the show keep hyping the things that are going to come? Of course, the interview with the exclusive interview with Brad Pitt coming up at the end of the show. You're going to want to listen to it. And Cam's going to reveal his penis size at the end of the show.
I keep getting into it, and then you keep cutting me off, so we'll never get into what's
That's a good point. We might never get to it. But Cam, I guess you deliver another little hype package. It's kind of like when you're watching. Right. It's like when you're watching a UFC pay-per-view or something where the heavyweight fight, Ngannou, Stipe, it's later on in the night, but you're going to get 35 seconds of promo for 4.5 hours before the fight happens. Between little bits, commercials, this, that, the other.
To make you stay tuned.
So, Cam,
this week here's on the show. Yeah, let me do this one.
Okay.
We got 4 games for you, so we're going to have to pack them in tight. Of course, we have our weekly recap of the Nightcap. Our summary of Michael Knight's adventures through Knight Rider, Season 1. Beyond that, we have a new segment called Wheel of Death, brought to you in part by, or inspired by, Morning Combat, who originally came up with the idea. Urban Dictionary Balderdash, free on Kijiji, headline or asinine. It's all coming in thick here, folks. So Cam, where should we even start?
Wow, Cam, that's a huge list coming up, and I hope folks at home have something to look forward to. But let's start the way we always do. Let's start with some notes.
We got some notes. We got some notes. We got some notes.
So, fuck. Oh my god, I can't even remember the notes.
I mean,
right, send me the notes.
The notes are part of the most one of the most important parts of the show here. Making sure to cover all of our ground and just seeing what we did wrong. Starting off with our Tiger Blood. That's a 2011 reference, Cam. I was a year off. You were like 5 years off.
As I am most of the time.
Of course, it is the blood which flows through Charlie Sheen. Also became quite a popular anabolic steroid that they just sort of started selling, I guess, kind of taking advantage of the brand market. Why not?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I mean, if Charlie Sheen's blood is going to be, he's going to jack you up.
Juice.
When you're lifting
get
weights.
Ready for beach season. Hey, you don't get ready for beach season in June. You get ready in December.
That's what they say. You get ready, and then you give up in May. We're moving on. We're talking about gaslighting. What is gaslighting? Exactly. So it does mean to manipulate somebody by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. A little fun bit here. The term did actually originate from a play a play written in Britain called Gaslight in 1938. The play is about a husband and wife whose the husband is slowly manipulating his wife into believing that she's crazy so he can institutionalize her and get away from her. In the play, the husband slowly dims the gas on their gas-powered lighting at home. And when the wife starts to notice that the light is dimmer, he keeps claiming that nothing has changed. You must, oh, it must be your eyes. You must be going crazy. Nothing's different. So yeah, it made it to a couple movies also, but interesting enough, gaslighting. We're also talking about the word penultimate. I don't know if you caught this one here. It actually means the last but one in a series of things. So pretty much the second last. Like the penultimate chapter of a book is the second last chapter of the book because, of course, ultimate meaning the last in a series.
Who brought up that term?
I don't know. The nerds in corporate, they just kind of fax me this information. Of course, you can fax us now. Two Season Upon is officially on the fax market. Network, exactly. You can just kind of dial up your phone and then it prints something to us. I'm not entirely sure how a fax machine works. I've never worked in an office exactly. And Cam, our final note from last week was kind of a little contribution that you brought forward. Animation is not a word.
Again, matter of opinion.
Matter of opinion. In a LeClaire English dictionary, animation could be on the first page as soon as we turn the page. But if not, then I don't know. But anyways, those are our notes for this week, and let's just hope we don't screw up anymore.
Well, we sure will. I mean, there's no chance that we won't. So
that's a good point. There's no chance.
There's no point in trying to do something that you know is going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that was probably a mistake on its own, what I just said. Do you want to try a new game?
Let's play it. I'm real excited for this, Cam.
All right. So this game is called Wheel of Death, where I or Cam will spin the wheel to determine which category he wants to answer the question about. Our categories for this week are That's Not Hitler, That's My Wife, Devil Music, Live in 3, 2, 1, Would You Like to Play a Game? How Many Towers Fell? And the Noise Came from the Basement, Kissing Cousins, and Jail Free Card. All right, Cam, first of all, how many spins do you want to do today?
How many spins do I get to choose?
Well, we do a spin, and then you get your topic, and we work from there. But you can do multiple spins if you wanted to. Well, let's start off with one and see.
Start off with the one spinner. All right. And here I go. I'm lifting my hand up to the wheel, and I'm. Oh, that's a lot heavier than I thought it would be.
And our category is That's Not Hitler, That's My Wife. Cam, for you today is, in a situation where you find a girl or a partner that brings everything to a relationship that you could want, emotionally, physically, checking off every single box that you can imagine. You can't find a single thing wrong with her until she tells you her turn on the bed is once a month. You have to dress as Hitler for sex. What do you do?
Oh, wow. This one's tough. We don't want to out there. We don't want to kink shame anybody outside, or listening to the show, of course. If you've got a thing, then you've got a thing. And who are we over here at Two Season Upon to say what is normal and what is not normal? Do I get a follow-up question?
Yep.
Is the turn on Hitler?
We're not exactly sure what the turn on is. It's just this is the requirement that I need for us to have a sex life at all.
Okay. I'm going to say yes, but with an asterisk, she has to dress up as Ava Braun. That's Beautiful. The only way I'm making this work.
I think that's a good compromise because that way, basically, everyone's in the same boat. No one can get blackmailed if you're both doing a little bit of play.
Amen. You're right.
The World War II era. Do you want to do another spin?
Let's get another spin, baby.
All right, spin goes the wheel, and coming up next, and the noise came from the basement. If, Cam, a world where ghosts do exist and they do populate your living space, would you rather be able to see them or stay invisible to your eyes?
This one always got me about, the ghosts. I work in an environment that would appear to be haunted. However, it's not. I've walked around the loneliest, darkest hallways, crevices, nooks at all hours of the day, morning, night. I've never experienced a supernatural presence. If you're there, just let's talk about it. Hey, what do you do? What was your shtick? What do you like doing? You want me to, I can show them who Nirvana is. I don't know. I feel like I would have a lot of things to offer a spirit. Just come to me. I would rather probably see them or don't see them but come to an agreement like don't fuck with me then. I
don't think you can make that agreement though.
Like, in that case, I would rather see them because I picture a ghost just trying to fuck with me, right? And all the cups are on your in the cupboard in your kitchen, and you go to grab a cup, and then it kind of moves over to the left. And you're like, oh shit, and then you kind of move your hand over to the left, and then the cup moves over to the right. Like, if a ghost is gonna fuck with me, I at least want to see him.
Yeah, little shit like that. Yeah.
I want to see him moving around my stuff. It would be a little disconcerting when you wake up in the middle of the morning and the ghost is just kind of hovering around your bed. But I'd come to terms with that. I mean, if the ghost is gonna kill me, then they're gonna fucking kill me, and I can't really control that. So I'd rather see it happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
One more spin.
Give it to me.
All right, and spin goes the wheel. Coming up hot. Would you like to play a game?
Would you like to play
Cam,
a game?
In this game, we are obviously referring to Saw, where you are in a Saw situation and choose to either paper cut both your eyes or remove fingernails with pliers. All your fingernails. Yes.
Why do I feel like the fingernails one already happened in a Saw?
I think it might have.
I think it
I
might
haven't
have.
seen them all.
I think it might have. Of course, I think you only saw 6, I believe, was the sole installment of the franchise that you got to see. Which is the best one, in my opinion, because it answers all those questions you had from Saw 5, and you had the movie answered. It's perfect. I don't like the eyes. The eyes I can't do. Putting eye drops in, you're at the optometrist or something, you got to strap me down to the fucking chair like it's Clockwork Orange. I need those big things keeping my eyeballs open because I squirm so much. I can't help it. And that isn't to say that I'm having things put in my eye every day. It's you go once every 5 years to the optometrist, right? I still can't handle it. The fingernails, I almost ripped off a fingernail once.
Intentionally?
It was half intentionally. It was, I had bruised the fingernail. Yeah. And then when you bruise a fingernail, a bunch of blood forms under it.
You got a black, right?
And then it starts to burst up through the top and your fingernail starts to chip away. And there was just one of the times I was just kind of, trying to chip away some of this fingernail. I kind of reefed a little too far and I could feel the rest of it pop up. And I would say, if I can remember at all about that sensation, is that it was 100 times more pleasant than anything to do with the eyes. So we're lifting up our fingernails on this one.
Okay, good to know. And that concludes our game for the week of Wheel of Death. Cam, what did you think?
That was a lot of fun. Cam, you spent a lot of time building this massive wheel.
Yeah, that cost me a lot of money.
It's huge. Of course, our listener. I don't think the listeners know about our bottomless piggy bank. Of course, if this is the first time you're listening to the show, of course, we have.
You guys might believe in Quest Trade. Maybe Wealth Simple.
We have a bottomless piggy bank in a room here at the corporate office. Of course, it is a massive porcelain pig with his pants pulled around his bottoms or pulled around his ankles, exposing his bottom, making him truly bottomless. And it is packed with extremely generous donations from
Felicia Say Toady, to say for one.
Felicia Say Toady, of course. course, one of our, a big fan of the show. We'd love to hear back from her. I think last we checked up on her, she escaped from jail, I think. And like you said, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. The donations box is constantly open. And I want to share a bit about that this week because we received another beautiful message when we got an email.
Dear twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Stop plugging your email all the time. Nobody is going to write you.
Isn't this weird? Like we said, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. I don't think people know what the email address is, or because we're getting a lot of or maybe just the wrong people know who it is. We're getting a lot of information about boner pills. Cam, nice. I'm not sure if that's something
goes based on search history. So
is it based on search history? I also noticed I got one of those little notifications that somebody the account's been signed on to from another computer, and it didn't say like specifically where. It just said Waterloo, Ontario. I don't know if you kind of caught that at all.
Who knows? Could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody. Is you want to go on? Anybody. Do you want to say something like that?
Yeah, I have no idea. Couldn't. Who knows? A lot of people in Waterloo.
Okay,
a lot of people.
We have another message here. Subject line RE, which is great.
Good. Intriguing.
I don't know what it is, so I'm probably going to click on it.
What's it regarding? Yeah.
What is it regarding? So we're going to open up where it says, "Hello, my name is Maureen Hinckley." Maureen Hinckley. Wait, this couldn't be the same Maureen Hinckley who reached out to us a few months ago, looking to donate $550,000 to our foundation. It could have been. We have received a generous donation from one Miss Maureen Hinckley about a few months ago. So I'm just going to keep reading this email and seeing if there's anything else that lines up. I'm Maureen Hinckley, and my foundation is donating $550,000 to you.
Beautiful.
Wow! Once again. Best regards, Miss Maureen Hinckley. Again, wow, that's it. No
caveats, as they say.
No, transfer the money now and I'll get back to you later. None of this. My dad has a fortune and he's got cancer. And I know it's legit because it says copyright 2021 right at the bottom of the email.
Perfect. Okay.
You can't
I was worried.
You can't copyright something unless it's real. That's a law. That is a law.
Yeah, I checked with the government.
Oh, well, thanks. Maureen Hinckley. God, it's nice to hear from you again.
Bringing the cash.
Bringing her kind of total donation here up to a little over $1 million, $1.1 million.
Beautiful. Wow. Thank you. I think that yields a free skipping rope. That
is the skipping rope tier. That's correct.
That's the first tier. Yeah.
We're following a similar model as jump rope for heart.
Yes.
Where sort of donate. Of course, we all remember Jump Rope for Heart.
Once you donate $1,000, you get a T-shirt.
Yeah. We'll kind of work your way up, skipping ropes to T-shirts to those big erasers that you put at the bottom of you put at the end of your pencil that makes your pencil you can't use it because it's way too way too top heavy. It almost creates it makes it pointless.
Yep. Those are useful.
Yeah, so we're sticking with that kind of model right now. And remember to tune back to the podcast because we will be kind of adopting our magazine subscriptions.
Ooh, can't wait for that.
Yeah, big thing. You could win prizes like pizza party for your class or principal's chair for a day or...
Did you ever get that? Did you ever get the principal's chair for a day?
The two that I won principal's chair for the day and elevator key for the day. Those were the two that I won.
Ooh, elevator key, that's a good one.
Yeah, those were cool. But
how'd you win them?
I think the school did a thing where, so it was there were daily prizes. I guess you sold fucking subscriptions, whatever, and then somehow you got put into a raffle.
The magazine.
Yeah, and then somehow you got put into the raffle, and then every day over the announcements they would there was I think it was principal's chair, the elevator key, and then there was also you can book out the gym during lunch recess for you and your friends. That was I think the third.
You could book out what?
Just the gymnasium.
That's pretty dope.
So instead of going out to the yard for recess, you could just like hang out in the gym and, you know, play basketball, play fucking floor hockey, whatever you want.
Yeah. These sound pretty dope. These also sound like definitely things that young boys would want to do, but I think there'd be a lot of people who would just be like, I don't need a gym for an hour. That doesn't sound like any fun at all.
Well, yeah, there was also, the fourth prize was the how to make your own tampons class, kind of instructional, where they had one of the teachers and you kind of learn how to make your own sanitary napkins.
Weave it from bark.
Exactly. No, principal's chair, that's universal. Everyone wants to sit in the comfy principal's chair and just fart all over it. That way, the principal has to have it the next day. You're like,
why stop at farting?
Sit. Oh, I shit.
Piss.
I shit on it. Just a little one. Enough of a shit where it's not like catastrophic to clean it up.
I disassembled it and took it home.
I took out the lumbar support. Let me tell you. My principal had to retire early.
5 to 10 years.
Elevator key was great. If you were over than like second grade. Because
you had multiple floors at your school?
We had 3 floors.
Damn.
And it was one of those things. It was like the further up you were, the higher the grade you were. Also, so if you won that thing in like grade 6, 7, or 8, oh yeah, you were on fire.
Damn, this is incredible. Yeah, we only had one floor for both of our schools.
One floor, 2 hockey programs. Come move to Erin, Ontario. We know our priorities. Single-floored schools, multiple
our
hockey associations.
In Erin is, get this, the arena in Erin is the arena, the library, the school, the theater, the dentist office, and...
strip club.
Well, that's on the back end, but and the tennis club. So, really multi.
So what you're saying is it's more of a rec center where
call it what you want.
Different people sort of rent it out depending on what they need it to do. Whether
that's
they need
what you
to
call
teach
it. I call
kids,
it the rink.
Or skate around. Yeah, we had a big ass elementary school. And my high school was also, I think, like the largest in town.
Yeah, I think about it. We had an arena at our high school, which is pretty uncommon.
We had an arena directly beside the high school. It was a thing you could have taken a hockey gym in like grade 9 or something. That was that. Or I think it was like only for the 1 year and just kind of like the one semester.
And someone got badly hurt.
But no, I'm saying like you could only do it in grade 9. It wasn't available to grade 10s, 11s, and 12s. Because only like one coach, like only one teacher knew how how to coach hockey or whatever.
Yeah.
I never did it either, but I'm sure it was fun.
That sounds dope. We had a hockey team that went pretty. We just like stacked all the best players in there, and then we had like high school games that we would go to. Only a few of them, but what a blast! Paying $2 to get out of class and going to watch them. Who knows where that money went to? I doubt it went to a good cause.
Yeah, I think every school does that. You pay $2 and you get to watch the football team. Or really,
where does the money go?
Or really, it just kind of became like pay $2 and then go smoke weed in the forest. Or you pay $2 and then just like go get finger blasted. Like, right. I think the amount of people who signed. I love getting Cam. We've talked about this before. Love getting finger blasted. No kink shaming. I think the amount of people who would pay for the sign out like paled in comparison to the amount of people who showed up to the games.
Oh, you're saying more people paid for the sign out than showed up to the games?
100%. I can just tell you from my experience of paying to sign out and never showing up to the games that a lot of people paid to sign out
and just got the hell out of town.
And then you just fucking leave. You're kind of like, it was always on a Friday. The weather's nice or something. It's kind of like, okay, whatever,
Yeah, but then sometimes they'd be like, you have to come back, check into class.
I don't think we ever had that, no.
Yeah, we had that. They were like, you come back, and then you just like give the kind of like, yeah, I'm here. And that was to dissuade people from doing exactly what you said, of just getting finger blasted in the forest.
Finger blast in the forest. See, my high school ended so late in the day. Like the last bell, like class was over at 3:35.
That's not late.
It's pretty late.
Actually, no, ours was 3:18.
3:18.
Dude, our timing was so fucked up. It was like first, because what they did is they had like basically our school was an experiment school, our district. So they tried out different things. One of them being a fifth period, which is a rotation of the other four, which would just be used for like homework. Mm-hmm. So it would be 4 classes, and the fifth one would be like, it's a rotation of who that teacher is going to be. First 15 minutes is completely quiet. You have to read or just be quiet. And then the rest of the time is do your homework, but like no one ever did.
In high school.
Yeah.
That definitely feels more of like a grade like 6, 7, 8 thing.
Yeah, no, they're just trying shit out of high school. And then like the breaks and timing of it was like, you have 5 minutes to walk between classes, and then there's like a 15-minute break here, then like a weird 8-minute break. Like it was so bizarre, and it just led to like, when's lunch? It's like 12:21.
Well, we had our weird thing was our lunch, where we had 3 lunches, right? So
you had them stacked on top of each other?
So either you did period 1, period 2, lunch, period 3, period 4. You did period 1, 2, 3, lunch 4. Or
that's a good one.
Or you did 1, 2, half of 3, lunch, second half of 3.
That's
4.
Stupid.
Yeah, so that was lunch B, and I never had lunch B because only like certain classes. It was classes that would be conducive to instruction in the first half, and then kind of work by yourself homework in the second half. And
like gym's not gonna cut it.
Like so few people had it that it must have been so ostracizing for these people. Like everyone, one of your friends had B lunch. There was never even like a second one of your buddies.
So it would be a different time too.
Yeah. It was kind of, I guess whatever. Yeah, because it was very much grade associated. Like the grade 9 and 10s often had A lunch. The grades 11 and 12s often had C lunch, but then that B lunch gap was like it was class dependent, and probably ended up just a lot of people eating by themselves, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
A weird one, eh?
Yeah, we didn't have that. We our school was small enough where everyone just had the exact same lunch all the time.
Yeah, it
was an hour and something, and I remember one of my memories from high school and being in grade 9 is you had a school calf, right? Mm-hmm. So did you ever have...
We had a full cow, actually. It was the school cow, pretty large at that point.
We had the calf and we upgraded to the
You had the calf.
Anyway, there was one time they did this thing called Mexican fries, which is just like... have you heard of Mexican fries?
Mexican fries, no.
So they're just like, imagine like nachos, but on top of fries.
So just a pile of carbs?
Yeah. I mean, call it what you want. I call it tasty. Anyway, one time a kid, I was in grade 9, and then I saw a senior put the salt back on the table, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Like, I'll grab that salt, put a little bit of salt on my thing. And he did the old, I'm going to leave it 90% unscrewed.
Nice.
And then my fries were ruined.
Oh, no. And your nachos.
Crushed. And my nachos. Well, it's Mexican fries, not nachos.
Oh, so it isn't nachos.
No. So there's no chips. It's only fries. But it has like the meat. It has the queso on top.
Oh, okay.
The green onions.
I can picture it. I'd call that one an Hispanic poutine.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it, and I don't think you're wrong.
That's what I'd call it. I never ate at the cafeteria.
A Latinx poutine.
I never ate at the cafeteria. I brought my food from home, and I never participated in any of those. The cafeteria line.
They had a good
never
system.
Had to do it.
They had a good system for how maybe yours did it too, but they had a hospitality class. Which would be cooking the food for the lunches.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that.
Doubling down.
No, I don't think. I think I picture us having like actual lunch ladies. I don't think we had just students cook it, but I know that you could. The cooking students would make food that then the school sold to like you could you're if you're having like a small backyard barbecue and you need some potato salad, call up the high school, the cooking class will make your potato salad.
Oh, that's cool.
It was, and they would do things like that. They would cook for like these or like there's like a little school fundraiser or something, and they prepped all the food for it and things like that. But again, never. I don't think I ever ate it. And now that this is a memory that just came back to me. But there was like a restaurant portion of the cooking class, or like the little area of the school where the culinary was, where it was like a restaurant that you could sit and get like the nice food, not cafeteria fucking fried bullshit.
Who cooked that stuff?
That was the cooking class, but just for the teachers. Like the teachers would come in. Yeah, like this is all rushing back to me. And it was this like little dimly lit room, with like individual tables and nicely set placemats and cutlery and all these sorts of things. And then you would order.
Did they have to pay for it?
I presume they did. I remember it was always like a small menu. It wasn't like you're going to fucking Kelsey's and you can have whatever you want. It was like, hey, we either have like the pasta, the this kind of salad, or like 4 or 5 options. Nothing huge.
A roast beef with au jus on the side.
I think I went there. Yeah, I was in there once for some reason. God, is Heisen High School just a blur?
I find it funny that we're able to recall these things. We're like, wow, they really did try and find ways to exploit students to save money.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, it's capitalism at its finest, right?
I'm fine with it.
We're gonna teach you how to cook and teach you how to serve people. It's like, this sounds like you're giving me a job. No. We're teaching you how to cook and serve people. You're like,
yeah. With that being said, you're 16 years old. No one's going to hire you to do that. The school's giving you the opportunity. I'm 16 years old. Yeah, I can serve you Mr. Sub. I know how to make a great Canadian club on whole wheat. But
did you work at Mr. Sub?
Mr. Sub, yeah.
Nice. How'd you feel about Subway?
Chubway.
You don't like Subway.
Fucking Chubway? Nah.
Yeah, because he puked one time, right?
2 times, actually.
Okay, yeah. that would be that would call it for me too.
No, the Subway's not nice for me. I do like Mr. Sub. I like the bread better. The bread's way better. I prefer the sandwich that is bun on top and like on the bottom, instead of a kind of like thing that folds
open
in.
face. Yeah.
I do like that. I also
closer.
like the
for the listeners at home, he's doing it's a sliced bread versus
picture me bread. Picture like it's a hamburger, not a hot dog. Subway's like Subway's like a really long sugary hot dog bun. And Mr. Sub, it's like more of like a traditional sandwich. And I do like that Mr. Sub grills the sub at the end instead of toasting it at the beginning. Yeah. Like Subway does, which kind of it definitely changes the way that it all interacts, and then when you get a nice the nice grill marks on the bread, you're like, oh baby, and you get that crunch,
that flavor.
Yeah. But keeping the veggies at a nice cool temp,
My tip of the week for sandwiches: have you tried Firehouse Subs?
No, I've seen them around though.
They're more pricey for sure.
They're like kind of like that Quiznos type thing.
They're the Quiznos, yeah. So it's like they don't have like build your. I'm sure they have an option for build your own sub, but they just have a bunch of like options that are somewhat firefighter related, like the engineer, the chief, and like the chief is a different sandwich than the engineer. It's like the hot one,
the hose.
The hose, the fire pole. But those
the sexy calendar.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. Like that's my favorite. The sexy calendar. Why do male firefighters have to objectify themselves being reduced to pieces of meat with a 6-pack and pecs? Men can be firefighters too without having to pull their shirts off. I'm taking a stand.
I think doctors should do that more often.
Take their shirts off?
Yeah.
or pose for calendars.
Both.
That's a good point. You know, we're similarly to like, you would never want to get your haircut from somebody who has a bad haircut. Like if I'm going to a doctor, I don't want some flabby, out of shape motherfucker telling me about my body. It's like, you don't know what's going on with yours. How do you know what's going on with mine?
You're all fucked up.
I can read a medical chart. That's not that. I want my doctor like with that like Jesus on a cross type of look. Like, he's a few days into a nice
how many cycles are you into your GHG? And he's like fourth cycle. And you're like, all right,
more. Yeah, exactly. He's like, great. They fucking work for you. Let's go. How do
I reduce the estrogen coming in when I go into my first T cycle?
Yeah, I want when the doctor's kind of wearing his lab coat and he'll kind of like bend over, to like kind of grab something and just kind of tears open. Yeah. Or at that point he's just given up and he's wearing his like smock but just sleeveless.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he always has his little bottle shaking his his whey powder mass gainer shake all over the place. Like, I would trust this guy's advice. I wouldn't trust some, pencil pusher.
Yeah, he like has a kettlebell in his office and like he'll be talking to you like, "Are you doing overhead presses right now?" He's like, "Do you mind?"
Yeah, it's very distracting.
I can stop if you want.
Very distracting. He's doing like, a clean and jerk.
I got clients all day, but you got to make gains.
I think he has clients all day. He doesn't have time to go to the gym, so he just works. He just works out while his clients are there. See, this is the type of guy I want to tell me about my physical health.
Yeah, just have a full squat rack there. You walk, you're in the waiting room. You just hear the rack going off. You're like, is he doing a full workout? He's like, yeah, he's just getting sets of like 50 in before he sees you. He might be a little out of breath, but don't mind.
And I wouldn't.
Yeah, you'd be like, let me get in after that.
Yeah, I'll hop in. I'll just need a spot.
I would like if he had like one of those Gymshark shirts that's like just sliced where I don't even know why you call it a shirt at this point. It's basically an upper thong because it just has like armholes that are like pencil thin at the top, has some sliver of connection at the bottom. Both nips are showing, and then he just comes in, grabs the lab coat, and throws it over top.
I've often wondered that. I feel like Gymshark's price model, like they're spending the absolute least on clothing material because there's none of it.
Yeah.
There's none of it. Like they're selling that.
Is it expensive? I've never really looked.
They're probably selling that shirt for $35, and it's
there's no shirt. Really
there's no shirt really there, and I just kind of cut around the sleeves, around the collar.
The back is literally just one thread.
Yeah, the thinner the better, I guess.
Yeah, and it has some quote on it. Just says like, I don't know, gains or die or some bullshit like that.
Gains or die. Aggressive. Yeah. But you secured that license plate.
Secure that license plate. I need to get a secure license plate. No, maybe not secure. I need to secure a license plate. Well, notes and corrections. Made another one there, Cam.
I don't think so.
Need to learn how to speak English.
No. I don't think we can criticize you for not being able to speak your first language. That's not appropriate.
That's asking too much of a man.
That's what I think.
Oh my God, Cam, we are running short on time here.
You keep saying we're running short on time, but I don't think we are.
I guess not. Here, I get lead off with something. I got to get the dog back inside.
That's a euphemism, folks. Lead the dog back inside. Cameron's going to take a quick poop. He's going out for a quick poop. Oh wow, he's calling out to his shit.
Girl.
Yeah. I don't really know why he treats all of his poops like they're women. I think is it a sexual thing? Like he.
Can you bring a towel down? I'm still podcasting.
He's calling out to unknown characters to kind of describe how his BM went. That was pretty weird. Cam, we're coming back into the show. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back from taking his big shit. Cam, let's move on here with the show. Because although the time is winding down.
The times are changing.
Although the times are changing, they're winding down. We're running out of time here on the show, but of course, we can take 5 minutes to do something. Five? We can take a tight five.
A tight five.
Tight five. Is that what you were looking for?
That's it.
Okay, so we're gonna take.
Well, let's get these timers set, people.
We're going to take a type 5 here because, of course, you're listening to another edition of the Nightcap.
The Nightcap, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. All we need is 5 minutes to recap this week's episode. Maybe less than 5 minutes, but certainly not more than 5 minutes. We're going to need more than 5 minutes.
You know what's going on here. We hope you're watching along with us, too. I think which is the most fun because we are now on episode 5. Season 1, of course, of Knight Rider. What happened last week? A quick little recap if we're into it. Just kicking ass.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it does. Kicking ass in small town USA. I think that's the most important part is that, this can truly be anywhere in the world, whether we're heart central Los Angeles or what was it called? It was called like Wilming Rock or something, just the smallest possible of town. And let's keep that going, right? Because let's take ourselves back to a beautiful Friday, October 22nd, 1982. Tuning on Slammin' Sammy's Stunt Show Spectacular. Cam, you're kicking you're kicking us off this week.
Time starts now, and the episode actually starts off with Michael driving through LA when a crooked cop flubs his speed radar to say that Michael is speeding, just to meet his quota, because that's what dirty cops in LA does. Michael, being quick on his feet and knowing he didn't actually speed, needs to get away because he's not playing with no cops, because he's a man without an identity. Flees away with his turbocharge, getting to the city line, showing the absolute speed of Kit. Maybe a little bit of I don't remember the word for it. It's when you foreshadow for later on during the episode. We'll find out. Later on, after we go through our introduction, we find that Devin is instructing Michael to investigate a corporate lawyer, Lawrence Blake, who buys mortgages and firms which all happen to go broke shortly after purchase. His next target, Slammin' Sammy's Stunt Show. While getting his instruction, we see Michael starting to catch feels for Bonnie, his engineer, which he quickly brushes off when she kind of catches on. And he says, that's the car I'm admiring, not so much you. Anyway, back to the scene. We're off to Sammy's Stunt Show, and we see the scene where it is a stunt show going on, and we're seeing a struggling family business trying to stay afloat by running cars and motorcycles through death-defying feats, such as skiing, which would be driving on 2 wheels, or flying through a ring of fire. After giving a quick introduction to all the characters, we get a cut shot of someone siphoning the gas from Sammy, the leader of the stunt show, his car right before his show. The show goes on seemingly without a hitch until Sammy attempts to do one of the craziest stunts we've seen, driving blindfolded through a ring of fire, jumping through the ring of fire, I might add, and gets very close to the edge where his car runs out of gas and crashes, causing some injuries for his business, or for himself and possibly his business. Now, Michael needs to investigate and figure out what's going on and decides the best way is to get into the show himself. To get in the show, he shows Sammy what he's got and gives him the ultimate test of skiing on both his sides of his car, and that is to drive the car on either 2 left or 2 right wheels. Next up, with the help of Kit, he's able to pass that with flying colors, and it shifts over scenes where we go back to the corporate office where now the heat is on Michael, where the saboteur wants to take down the show, and it's Michael with it. We wrap up there after that with a guy trying to sabotage Kit, with a playful scene of Kit moving back and forth, not allowing anyone to stop him. Cam, go ahead. I took a little bit too much time.
So, Cam, what we need is a big stunt. That's going to bring in a lot of money for Sammy and his family. So, after Kit gets a lovely little makeover, by the way, a nice silver star trim. It's flashy. It's patriotic. It's going to put meat in the seats. It's time for the big trick. Of course, we all know what the big trick is. It's jumping over a car while that car is also moving. And of course, we can do that effortlessly on an 18-wheeler ramp, moving over a moving car in a classic nose-down landing fashion, which is the way the Kit likes to land. He hits the trick. Everyone's going nuts. Lisa, our love interest, of course, of the episode, she gives Michael not only a business kiss, but a 6.5-second-long social kiss while her dad is watching, which is the most romantic place to kiss somebody, directly in front of your father. But even though he hit this big jump, the bad guy developer, Blake, he still offers Knight a job that he turns down. And you know what it means when you turn down a job? It means you have to die. By now, we've kind of appeared that Mario, the kind of sleazy other stuntman, has been working with Blake this whole time, which is weird. I could have sworn it was going to be Mark, the younger brother, who was sabotaging the cars because he wanted his time in the spotlight. But now it is time for the big show, and little brother Mark kicks off with his fun motorcycle stunt, which was clearly filmed like on a completely different day, like a completely different weather. But it's all happening. Everyone's while we're enjoying it, while Michael Knight's enjoying it, he gets roofied right before the big stunt. After we're setting up for this big jumping over another car, Michael Knight passes out, making Kit have to finish the showmanship, something a machine isn't too comfortable with, but he does it anyways. After the stunt, thank God above us for Dr. Bonnie's recently installed oxygen button that Kit opens, and oxygen valve rushing oxygen back to Michael Knight's head, ready to take down Mario, who reveals the larger plan was actually to blow up the entire stands, killing probably dozens of people in the process. But good thing Kit's undercarriage is bomb-proof. He's a little busted up, but he'll be okay. After all of this, we are taking another 3-week vacation to raise enough money for Sammy, and then we'll move on to the next small town to help them all out.
Beautiful recap.
Thank you.
Man, it is tough to squeeze in 42 minutes or whatever it is into 5, but we pull it off seamlessly every time.
Seamlessly? I'm practicing. Or do you practice this? You're not practicing.
No, I didn't practice this
We need
one.
cue cards, Cam.
Cue
like you're
cards.
giving a speech.
Hammer that speech. Well,
Amen.
no, I did really like the scene where the dad gives Michael like the nod, like good work, kid, after he makes out with his daughter.
I think it's time to get into our final game of the night. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Sounds like a plan, Stan. Let's play our final game, shall we? Let's play Headline or Asinine.
Hey, hey, hey. Headline or asinine. Hey, headline or asinine.
Y'all know how it's played. Headlines, no headlines. Which one's it gonna be? I don't know.
I'll start us off, Cameras.
Let's go.
Lottery winner arrested for dumping $200,000 of manure on lawn of his former boss.
Yeah, I think the lottery winner is an important kind of addition right there, because somebody who's like wealthy on their own, you know, the upper class, the 1%, they're not taking petty revenge like pouring, you know, kind of dumping manure onto someone's lawn. No, that's a strictly lower class move. You know, you live in a trailer, you win the lottery. What's the first thing you're going to do? Probably dump a bunch of shit on, you know, your boss's lawn. It wasn't his fault, though. He had to fire you from the McDonald's. You put your dick in the McFlurry machine. What did you expect him to do? Keep you on as an employee? That's a headline.
So that's actually what I thought to be a headline, but after looking into Snopes.com was asinine. It's a headline that someone made up. So this is the essence of asinine.
Wait. So you almost got
I almost got fooled.
You almost, so it was like fake news. It was like a
it was fake news,
fake
yeah.
news. Okay.
So no bueno.
Always check that. Research your things, kids. Peer-reviewed sources, right? Don't just look on Wikipedia. Okay, am I going here for you? Spanish porn star charged with homicide after toad licking ceremony.
There's just so much packed into that headline. Like your mind immediately goes to like, what's a Spanish porn star look like? And like, who'd they kill? Toad licking. What kind of things are they involved with? But it seems just crazy enough to be true. I'm gonna go ahead and now that I think about it, maybe I think it's a headline, but it's a little bit... It's a little deceptive because he went there and it had nothing to do with that, the murder, but that's where they met or something like that, and then they got into a fight. Because I don't think toad licking leads to murder often. But, hey, what do I know? That's a headline.
Cam, you're right. That's a headline. So yeah, it's happening to a man whose porn name is Jose Vidal, but his actual name is Ignacio Gonzalez, who was arrested after an 11-month investigation into the suspicious death of a photographer who died participating in a spiritual ceremony that happened at his house over 2 years ago. And he was recently charged with reckless homicide. The ritual involves inhaling venomous vapors from the burning scales off of a Bufo alivarius toad. The lawyer for the man arrested for the porn star said that it's a terrible accident and the burn should not fall on my client. The toad releases a venom called 5-MeO-DMT, which is known to have hallucinogenic effects of about 4 to 6 more times powerful than DMT as we kind of know it or whatever, which of course stimulates the production of serotonin that causes the feeling of happiness. According to authorities, Gonzalez was the director of the ritual, which took place in his house. If found guilty, he faces 4 years in prison.
So these toads, the Bufo is it alivarius? Alivarius. They're actually becoming endangered because pretty much Mike Tyson spoke about how he was using toads, and then now there's like toad hunting ceremonies everywhere, like hunting for them, because now they're pretty difficult to get a hold of.
Because of Tyson, eh?
Mike Tyson, yep. If you want to learn more about it, look up Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia on YouTube and look up Bufo alivarius with it. He does a really great episode on it.
Or if you also want to look up more into it, check out the Joe Rogan Experience, and then go to the Mike Tyson episode, and then you'll probably get there the same way.
There we go. All right, Cam, headline or asinine? Swan terrorizes homeowners by constantly knocking on their front doors.
A swan homeowners, plural?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? This is a feel good, fun story. I like this story, Cam, because it doesn't involve anybody dying. It doesn't involve anybody hurting themselves. It doesn't involve anything gross. Like the one time the fat guy asked an airline stewardess to wipe his ass after he shit. This is just a fun little story of, a goose, a lonely goose, possibly a black goose. Well, a swan, same thing, exactly, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they were the most beautiful swan of all. Probably like knocking on the doors because like a bunch of the colors or something. I think it's, nothing specific, but it feel good. So I'm going to say it's a headline.
This is a headline out of England where this has been going on for not recently, but for 3 years now. There is this residents in a town of England have been dealing with this confusing nuisance that this one swan likes to knock on the little mail slot, kind of likes to like flick around a little bit, and then just does bang, bang, bang. Sometimes only a few times, sometimes for up to 3 hours. No one understands why the bird's behaving this way, but it does. It's been living there for 7 or 8 years with its mate, and I said 3 around this year. 5 years ago, it started doing this. So yeah, this is real. This is disturbing, and this needs to be taken care of. So we're waiting for executive action from the government down there.
Of course, they asked Boris Johnson himself, just like, hey, we need your help. We need your help on this one.
That's it.
Thanks, Cam. Ready for next headline?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Winner of French Scrabble Championship does not speak French.
I can't see a world where you could play Scrabble not knowing how to... Oh, cannot speak French?
Cannot speak French.
Yeah, can you read French? I don't know many people that can read it without speaking it. It normally goes the other way around. I'm going to go ahead and call bluff on this because I feel like that seems too impossible. Headline. Or asinine.
That's a headline here for you, Cam. This is a story about a man named Nigel Richards, who is actually a 5-time world Scrabble champion, man from Belgium. Sorry, a man from New Zealand, my mistake, who took home first place in this year's French Scrabble Championships in Belgium. That was my mistake. And he won first place without actually speaking French. Apparently, and these were his words, he just decided to memorize the French dictionary instead. In doing so, he memorized all the French words made up from 2 to 10 letters. He said, words are just combinations of letters. If you know how letters are supposed to go together, then you will know how to create words. He entered the championship as a challenge to himself because, like we said, he already won 5 world championships and he was trying something new.
I can't believe that you can memorize every word from 2 to 10 letters. That seems incredible.
Autism's a powerful drug. It's a powerful drug.
Is he autistic?
I mean, I think if you've won one World Scrabble Championship, your mind is wired slightly differently. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Headline Asinine. Human penises are shrinking because of pollution.
Oh, I love this. You know, as people know, I live in a very polluted community. And I've tried to tell people this all the time. There's just too much goddamn pollution. Nobody ever believes me. And now that it's affecting our genitalia, our male genitalia. So not only do I not have the choice of being circumcised, but I'm being born with into a smaller penis because you can't recycle. I'm blaming you, Cam. I'm looking right at you. You don't recycle, and now my penis is small and soft and a little to the left. I want to know the science behind it, so I'm just going to hope for the best and say that it's a headline.
Yes, it is a headline. Now, I think it's a little bit, again, muddying the headline itself because it's not that current penises are shrinking, it's that future penises are shrinking. So mine or yours should be staying the same size. I can't speak for you. But basically, fertility rates... or the fertility, like the new batch of kids, I'll call them.
The new batch, yep.
The new batch of kids are having shrinking penises because of the pollution levels. The science behind it itself, I don't really understand, to be blunt. But basically, the genitals are malfunctioning, the penises are shrinking, and putting human reproduction in a challenging situation. It has to do with the endocrine system. What else? Yeah, a lot of stuff I can't read. Philosophates.
You didn't vet this before. Okay, are you reading?
I did.
Are we on? Okay, Cam, I told you gotta stop going to foxnews.com/today's news.
There was like 7 articles on it. We got Business Today, India Today. There was.
Oh, if India Today is talking about pollution, then you know it's got to be fucking right.
It's a fucking problem.
If there's one country that's, I think, solved the pollution problem, I gotta say it's India.
Anyway, we got there's a lot of science going on here, and it's all from her new book. Feel free to check it out.
Her new book?
Countdown. Yes, it's that's right, Cam. Women can write books these days. Shanna Swan is her name.
Any relation to Miss Swan?
Possibly.
Wow.
Very possible.
Wow. Cam, I got your last headline here for you. Are you ready? After a year of closure, a reopening escape route finds a dead body trapped inside.
Escape room?
Yes. After a year of closure, a reopening escape room finds a dead body trapped inside.
I just can't believe it because of the escape rooms I've done. You never break off into teams. But then again, there was that great movie on Netflix where that was a thing. So maybe it's one of those fake headlines to promote that movie, which would be kind of cool. Now, do I think it's real? No, because I think you would never leave the place being like, "Where's Joe?" It's I don't know. Where'd he go? Probably went home. Did anyone ever hear from him again? No. Let's forget about it for 1 year. So I'm going to call bluff. Asinine.
Cam, that one's asinine. You got it.
Yeah, you can't make that happen. There's another tip for it. There's a great movie called Escape Room on Netflix where that's basically the premise of it. Is these escape rooms, you have to escape.
No,
or you don't escape without your life.
I was thinking more of like somebody squatting in an abandoned building because no one's been in there for a year and then they got stuck. That's what I wasn't thinking like somebody played an escape room on March 14th, 2020 and then got lost. I was picturing like a homeless man who then died. But like I said, all these headlines aren't about funny little white swans. Jesus Christ.
Some of them are though.
Jesus Christ. Well, I can tell by the look on your face that you're done. You're done. We're losing you. The sun is falling down, although we have sprung forward.
Yes. Yeah. I think my body's just do it now. Took 3 weeks, but I'm set. I'm pumped for Easter.
But you're set and you're ready to go. Well, thanks for listening again this week, folks. Remember, you can rate, review, like, and subscribe. The podcast is everywhere. twoceesinapod at gmail.com. Love to hear from you.
Love to hear from you, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And never forget, when you feel that connection to someone, your heart beats 100,000 times in a day. So it's bound to beat at the same time as somebody else's. Tune in next week.
Take care, folks.
Take care? I don't know. This is a wrap.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your...
Two C's in a pod, 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 two C's just like two C's in a pod, two C's because we're two C's in a pod, just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod
at gmail.com.